Hey guys, what's going on? Sherman here. I had such a positive response to my last fidget spinner video that I did, and so I thought what I would do is I would review some of the other fidget spinners that I have in my collection. Now, some of them I can't review because I made some of them are made by friends who aren't currently selling them, but there's a huge demand for more of these videos, so I thought that I would make a couple more reviews and get the word out for a couple more of these makers, because people really seem to be wanting to try out these fidget spinners. So I want to put the word out for you guys to some other makers. So this one is made by Restless Hands Toys. He is a maker on Etsy, and I'll post a link in the description to his Etsy shop. So these, he puts them out in limited quantities. It's first come, first serve, and you would have to favorite his shop and just frequently check back for when he gets some more in stock. But this is his Tri-Spinner V2. So this was kind of the first fidget spinner that I ever fell in love with and ever purchased, actually. So this one is probably my favorite in my collection. This was one of the first fidget spinners I ever saw that had the 3 counterweight kind of pyramid shape. Now a lot of people are doing it. I'm not saying he's the first, but it was the first one that I saw. And I see the design in a lot of places. So let's just get into it. It's the same thing as most of these other 3D printed fidget spinners. It's made of a high quality ABS plastic, which I've heard described as feels like Lego plastic, and I can agree. So if you guys are wondering, you know, in terms of the durability of these 3D printed fidget spinners, if you've ever felt Legos, this plastic feels the same. It's, you know, very high quality. I've dropped this from a standing position on concrete 2 or 3 times. And the only thing that it ever did was this tiny little crack right there by that bearing. And you can see it doesn't affect anything. It just cracked a little bit because these bearings are press fit into this handle, or this frame I should say. These are press fit, and I'm not sure if they're glued or not, but these bearings don't come out. So if you want to change these out for other bearings, they don't come out. In terms of the bearing brand, a lot of people were asking the bearing brands. These are Paragon 608 RS, which is the size, I believe, or just the bearing type. The one in the middle, I'm assuming, is also a Paragon. He does a button for his, which are glued on there. I don't think you can change them out or take them off. You can see how smooth that is. The thickness there, standard thickness. Very cool, very slim. You can see in my hand. Love the feel of these with the rounded edges. He does a really good job with the contouring here. So it's very comfortable to spin. And this is one of the best spinners that I have. I find that spinners that have these buttons, they just tend to spin better. It's just the ergonomics are better. A lot of people ask me how I get mine to spin so good. It's just practice. I like to do the index finger and thumb technique. And I just use my middle finger. I just kind of get it at a good point and then just kick off. Also, somebody asked me if it was the type of spinner that does this or it's an illusion where it looks like the bearings are going backwards at one point. And it is just like right there. It's just an optical illusion. It does it in person as well as on camera. It's nothing special about the bearings or the spinner. It's just an optical illusion. But spin time is fantastic. You can feel the wind coming off of this thing. And some of the spinners, the more you move them around, the slower they get. They start wobbling. This does not do that. It's almost like a gyro stabilizer. So spin time is fantastic. The smoothness is incredible. And the advantage with having a button on here, along with protecting the bearing, the middle bearing, from getting any kind of dust and debris in it. But you can still blow it out with compressed air if you need to. But the advantage to having that button is that you can do it on a table. There's a certain level of enjoyment with that as well. It's also kind of loud. Something I wanted to mention, if you guys aren't into that, the bearings on this one do make quite a bit of noise when you really get this thing going. You can also hold it with your index finger and drop it. Let's see if I can get it. You can do tricks like these. You can throw up in the air and catch them. Well, maybe you can. I can't. But, you know, when you have buttons on them, you can do a little bit more things with them. A little bit easier to hold, too. So, very cool. Like I said, this is version 2, and they're very hard to find. I think last time I looked anyway, he had some in stock, and he has a bunch of different colors. You know, pink, blue, red, black, white, glow in the dark, yellow, and then of course my favorite color is this lime green, which is very, very lime green, which I love it. So these retail, I believe, for about 20 bucks, which I know some people may think is kind of expensive, but trust me, shop around and that's going to be the going rate. I mean, these are all custom 3D printed. Like when you order one, he's printing it for you. So, and it takes a while. I know the program is already created and all he has to do is basically just, you know, turn a machine on, but a lot of thought and a lot of planning went into the design and then programming it into the 3D printer to make this. So that's the going rate for anything like that, because it's essentially handmade. So it's not mass produced, it's one guy working out of his house. So that's actually relatively cheap for a spinner compared to a lot of the other ones on the market today. So this one's really cool. I really dig this spinner. Like I said, spin time is great. The weight is perfect. Just a really good weight. He used to, I'm assuming he still does, this is his standard thickness, but he also has one that's double thick, which that one is 2 bearings stacked on top of each other, which that would be the thickness of his double thickness ones. So the whole spinner is the same thickness as 2 of these bearings stacked on top of each other, so double thick, essentially. But I talked to a couple of people, they said those can wear out their hands over time because they're so heavy, and they thought that these spun longer. So I just opted to get the standard thickness one, or the slim one maybe it would be called. But super cool. I just really wanted to get the word out to this maker because he has my favorite, or some of my favorite fidget spinners on the market today. It is my favorite one that I have owned. I've played with some really nice ones, but I didn't own them. But this is the nicest one that I own, I think, or at least my favorite. It just has such a neat feeling when you spin it. I just get so much enjoyment out of it. And you know, you can flick back and forth like so. You can also do a index finger flick. A lot of people do that. I actually like the sound that it makes too. So yeah, guys, definitely check out Restless Hands Toys on Etsy, and yeah, you gotta check these out. These are really, really good spinners. If you're looking for a good, maybe you're a good first spinner, this is a very no-nonsense, simple design, easy to use, and they come in a lot of cool colors. So, hope you enjoyed this video. Please leave a comment if you have any questions. Like I said, I'll post a link in the description to his Etsy shop where you can purchase. Alright guys, have a great rest of your day. Stay safe, stay sharp, God bless, and fidget on. Sherman614, peace.